The San Francisco District Attorney's Office is going to either totally wipe out or look at reducing several thousand criminal convictions that are related to marijuana, some of which date back many, many decades, because in 2016, California had a ballot measure to legalize recreational cannabis in the state. And one of the things that the law allows for is the review and reduction or even removal of prior convictions for activity that would potentially be legal under the new law. And there's about 3,000 of these cases that are simply going to be dismissed. Those were prior misdemeanors. And then there's about 5,000 felony cases that are going to be reviewed. So to be clear, this is not so much about freeing people that are in jail or prison. A lot of these people never did any prison or jail time, although some of them may have. It's about getting rid of their record because it has a major impact for jobs, right? We've talked about the movements that exist in some states to ban the question about former convictions. Sometimes it's misdemeanor, sometimes it's felony only, but there's different ways in which those questions can be asked by potential employers to applicants. And there are states who have, quote, banned the box, as it's called. And this is going to be a major, major thing for a lot of people seeking employment who have these misdemeanors or felonies on their record. And it's something that we've seen this happen before, actually, where you have something that was previously illegal legalized, but there is no accommodation or consideration given to those who have a record for something that is no longer illegal. And there's sort of different approaches depending on what the acts are or how the law sees those actions. But when it comes to these marijuana cases, I am 110% completely on board with this. And increasingly what we're seeing is a growing divergence between the states and the federal government on the issue of cannabis, right? You saw during the Obama administration numerous successful legalization initiatives, recreational legalization, decriminalization initiatives, legalization of medical cannabis. And by and large, the Obama administration, rather, was more friendly than prior administrations. Even though marijuana remained illegal federally, the Obama administration had directed federal law enforcement agencies to sort of stay out, take a hands-off approach to states that had legalized to different degrees cannabis, either medical or recreational, or simply decriminalized. That split when Donald Trump was elected president of the United States and selected the very, very anti-pot Attorney General Jeff Sessions, who, as I've told you previously, said he used to kind of like the KKK until he found out that they smoked pot, and that was what put him over the edge into being anti-KKK. And the federal government is moving much more harshly against marijuana. Attorney General Jeff Sessions wants to not wipe out marijuana convictions, right? California wants to wipe out marijuana convictions. This is sort of a good analogy. And Jeff Sessions wants to wipe out people using marijuana. And this has major job implications. It has, for the fiscal conservatives, major fiscal implications, because even though marijuana and property seizures related to marijuana do bring in a lot of money, the apparatus and the cost and increased size of government, and that includes DEA, ATF, Border Patrol, seizing marijuana near the border, a very, very long list of how this apparatus is huge. It's a ton of government spending. It is a huge amount of government spending and hiring and employment, all of which so-called fiscal conservatives claim to be against. And it's important to understand the underpinnings of this. It's important to understand how in some areas, some enclaves of the electorate, in the same way that you can raise a lot of money being anti-gay or being anti-abortion, you can raise money being anti-pot. It's disgusting, and I am thrilled that San Francisco's district attorney is going to take the California law as an opportunity to do this, and I hope that other California district attorneys will do the exact same thing.